Good evening, Canby. I'm Mayor Brian Hodson, and with me tonight is Chamber Director Kyle Lang. And we're here to just give you a quick Canby update on everything that's kind of going on and kind of dial some things in here with the new governor's orders regarding COVID-19 and the pandemic and how it relates to some of the things here that's going on in Canby. We wish we could be coming on different circumstances, so I'm going to touch on some city pieces as well as hopefully highlight some key events coming up that will hopefully bring some joy into the season that we're in, and Kyle's got some great exciting updates as well. So I'm going to start with.
I don't know if they're either great or exciting, but I have updates.
Well, we have updates.
You're right.
So. And between Kyle and I, as we get comfortable here, we'll try to make this as entertaining as always. A little different format for Kyle and I, because usually we do this at Canby Foursquare, and I want to thank Gordon and CTV5 for quickly pulling this together for us. And we had invited Representative Drazen, and unfortunately she's come down with a little bit of a cold, and so we hope that she gets better quickly and that it's just the sniffles and nothing more than that. So
just erring on the side of caution.
Yes, being cautious.
Point.
Yep. So speaking of caution, I want to just kind of touch upon Governor Brown's new recently released freeze or pause that she has kind of put on the state and how that's going to relate to Canby. And the big conversation piece for me, and I'm sure Kyle's had some of those questions as well, was the piece about Thanksgiving get-togethers and gatherings and how is Canby going to respond and how are we going to handle that. And so over the earlier part of this week, through conversations with the city manager and our city attorney, as well as Chief Smith, as well as Lieutenants Tro and Gonzalez, there's a lot of dialogue on how we want to approach this. And we can't not address it. We can't ignore it. We can't not do anything about it. Unfortunately, that's just how, with the way things are currently set up, with the state of emergency that the governor has issued, and our police being an extension of Oregon State Police and accreditations and things like that, we can't just not follow the governor's orders. So through a lot of conversation and much more of a, I guess, very similar to approach of what we did when the first lockdown occurred. So when the first lockdown occurred, it was just on businesses. And so Canby Police and the city of Canby, we wanted to take the approach of this is going to be complaint driven. We're not going to be out looking for people. In that case, back then, it was businesses being open and having too many people in their business or not being masked or whatever that case may be. So it was complaint driven. So if somebody called in the complaint, then the police would prioritize their calls and try to get over there. And that's how we're treating this situation right now. The police will not be out driving the neighborhoods, looking for extra cars out front of people's houses and going in and having dialogue with the homeowners and whatnot. They are going to be out. It's going to be complaint driven. They will respond accordingly, and as as they can and as they will. And again, it's going to be about education, about the state of things, making sure that we're being careful and things like that. Really, that is the big piece. We're looking to teach and educate about safety and potential consequences of large gatherings during this pandemic. As many of us know, our goal is to work with the public to reduce risks without any harm or negative interactions between homeowners and the police. We are really, at the end of the day, our police officers, myself, city staff, we want everybody to have a joyful and wonderful Thanksgiving. Our police don't want to be doing this. They don't want to have to do this. And so we ask that we just use common sense, which sometimes can be in short supply. They really do a great job here in Canby, and many of them live here, and this is not something that they really want to do. I addressed this last night at our city council meeting. I would have preferred more of the stance of we as individuals looking at the situation, understanding what's going on, and then determining our best paths. And to me, like for my family and I, we usually get together for Thanksgiving, and it's 20 plus people. This year, we're not doing that, not because the governor said not to, but because we understand the situation. We don't know the extended families' travel plans and travel in their everyday lives. For us as a family, we know where we've been. We know where my mother-in-law has been. We know that where my sister-in-law and her family have been. So our bubble for Thanksgiving is dramatically smaller. But we've had those conversations, and I hope that you all, as thoughtful and caring citizens of Canby, will have those same conversations and do what is best for you and your family at the end of the day. So that's kind of the city's position right now and where we're at. So be smart, think it through, and just be good stewards of your family and lead as you need to. Couple of other pieces that I'll touch on here and then turn it over to Kyle. Kyle's going to be talking a lot about the business area, but I'm just going to throw this out there right now, in that our businesses need our support more now than in years past. This is a time of year where our restaurants, our retailers all finish the year strong, getting ready to go into a new year with a tremendous amount of optimism and finishing the year with great success. And that's going to be harder to do this year. So I'm really asking again. I did this in the spring. Kyle has asked in the spring, and we're going to ask it again tonight, both of us in our own way, just to say that we need to come through as a community for our businesses. So just as a comparison, right? So remember those of you that have knocked on doors, gone into businesses, restaurants, and said, hey, my organization is having a fundraiser. Can you do some gift cards? Or can you provide some chocolates? Or can you provide...
Tommy's got a T-ball team.
Yeah, right. Or,
Right.
For me, let's see, Dylan plays baseball and he plays the saxophone. So I need to do a fundraiser for band, and I got to do a fundraiser for football, and I got to do a fundraiser for a multitude of other things for us. Right. And so, so I ask you as the citizens that did that door knocking to kind of reverse it.
Yep.
Show that extension and show that you appreciate those businesses for supporting your organizations and your family's activities by reciprocating. They need it now. Mm-hmm. They're the ones that aren't going to come necessarily knocking on your door and asking for, a $10, gift card. They want to share with you what they love the most, whether that's coffee from Gwen's, Cajun Tots from the Wild Hare, burgers from the Backstop or Pappy's, or Thai food from Thai Dish or Thai Corner, whatever it may be. Our businesses need that piece again. We came through in spades in the spring. We really need to come through again. And I know that we as a community can do that as we have in the past. I'm going to close with this. It is a tough time. Many of you know or don't know, but my day job, the mayor is not a full-time, well, let me rephrase that. It is a full-time job, but it's not my only job.
Right,
yeah.
Right.
So my day job is I work in assisted living, and right now it's really hard for the residents being in an assisted living community or a skilled nursing facility. They can't see their families. They're on a lockdown again. No visitors. And I had a resident the other day in tears as I'm sitting in her apartment with her because she has not seen her family. And she desperately wants to go home for Thanksgiving and be with her family. And so I'm really trying very much to continue to be an optimist. I'm always a glass half full kind of guy, and this is the time of year where I love the lights, and I want Waite Park to have more lights than the Parks Department knows what to do with, and we're getting there. I'm determined to get there. So I really want all of you to really find ways to find gratitude and joy these next 6 weeks, okay? So here's a couple of things that I'm going to participate in because I know that they will do just that for me. We have the Canby Kiwanis Food and Toy Drive. That is underway. It is going. That is always a huge, huge piece in our community, and we always come through on that. And there are families more than ever, right? We talk about the businesses, and it's now the families too that have dealt with pandemics, some with, wildfires, and the cupboards are bare at a lot of our food banks. And Kiwanis comes through every year with toys and the food drive. So do what you can, give a little, spread
There's
some
always
joy.
need in our community, but that is very much the case this year in particular.
Absolutely, I totally agree. Light up the night, December 4th. A little different this year. Obviously, we're pandemic and lockdowns and freezes and pauses and things like that. So the Lions, yes, that was pretty good.
Right.
The parks team has already been working really hard on getting the park lights up and ready for that. We were, I believe, I'm looking into the booth there at Gordon. I think we're going to try to do a live telefeed. He's giving me the thumbs up that that's going to happen. We won't be able to do a parade as in years past. Here's what I'm going to tell you what it's going to be. There's going to be lights. We're going to light up the park. We're inviting those same businesses that did participate in the parade in the year before and park in different spots in downtown and invite people to come walk around, check out the lights amongst the vehicles, and just take in some outdoor Christmas holiday spirit in that regards on the 4th. So that's going to be at 6:30. No, sorry, 6:30 is in my calendar for me to be there.
Right.
But it is going to be December 4th, so please put that on your calendar. Clackamas County Fairgrounds and Event Center is putting on Winter Fair, and that's going to begin Friday the 27th, and that's going to go through December 31st. Mm-hmm. And so the Event Center and Fairgrounds, you can get tickets on the Clackamas Event Center website. It's going to be a drive-through Christmas light display. So again, another way to get your light fix and stay close to home.
Which I'm excited to not have to drive down to PIR to do it this year, right? It's a tradition for many, and now we can stay close to home in order to get it done.
And that's, that's the piece, like my wife and I are having those conversations about, okay, what's our typical traditional things that we have done every year for Christmas and the holidays? What's got to change and what do we got to punt with, right? So, for us, Peacock Lane's always a big fun evening for us, and so that's not happening, so we've got to shift and adjust, and that's going to be a great one to go to.
Right.
Canby Grove will be doing their annual cookie bake event, so check that out. I believe I was on, there's a Facebook page I think many of you are familiar with called Canby Now, and they always do a tremendous giving tree. And I believe that is going to happen again this year. I think the admins for that group are working on that, and it's going to be, I believe, at Gwen's. But stay tuned for that and find, again, another way to spread some joy and share in some gratitude. Before I turn it over to Kyle, I really wish all of you a very happy Thanksgiving. Find the joy. Be grateful for what we have and what has been just given to us even in these hard times. I'm here. Stop me at the grocery store. You want to bend my ear, you want to talk, don't hesitate. I've got broad shoulders for a reason. So I wish everyone the happiest of Thanksgivings, and I'm going to turn it over to Kyle to talk about some of the things on the business front.
Awesome. Thank you, Brian.
Yeah,
appreciate
thanks.
all that. So many events happening around the community. I'm sure others will pop up as as we get closer. There's a lot of things to track these days. And so if there was an omission in the list that Brian and I kind of discussed amongst ourselves and put together, then we apologize. There's a lot going on. Just reach out to the chamber or to Brian, and we'll rectify that and get the word out. So here's a breakdown of what the freeze means for local business. In terms of the business-related provisions, people are encouraged to work from home to the greatest extent possible and close office to the public where possible. Restaurants are delivery and takeout only. Grocery stores and pharmacies are limited to 75% of capacity and should encourage curbside pickup where possible. Retail stores and malls, indoor and outdoor, are limited to 75% capacity and should encourage curbside pickup. Now, there are heavily impacted businesses that must close. I say heavily impacted, not in terms of their exposure in terms of the virus, but they are heavily impacted by the freeze itself. These businesses must close. Gyms and fitness organizations, indoor recreational facilities, museums, indoor entertainment activities, and indoor pools and sports courts. Outdoor entertainment activities and outdoor pools, venues that host or facilitate indoor or outdoor events. Due to these constraints, there are many businesses in Canby and our surrounding area that could really use our help right now. The City of Canby and the Canby Chamber has just launched our Buy Local or Buy Local campaign that was meant to focus on local retailers as we approach the holiday season. This is a campaign that we've been thinking about for weeks and kind of been working on putting together. But that slogan, Buy Local or Buy Local, has a depth of meaning now that should be felt in the hearts of all our local residents who appreciate having options and outings under normal circumstances. While we intentionally focus on retailers during this lead up to the holiday season, there are now many industries and sectors who are affected by this temporary closure. It is our hope that the residents of Canby will uphold the faith we have in them and serve the businesses that have so often provided support and services in the past. We know that individuals as well as businesses are being impacted by our current circumstances, but we ask that you do what you can. If your family budget allows you to keep your gym membership current for the short break, please do. Consider, for the holiday season, purchasing gift certificates to workout classes and other fitness classes in the meantime to help those businesses stay cash stable. Husbands, I do not recommend buying fitness classes for your wives for Christmas.
Why not, Kyle? Is this a personal experience piece?
It is not, but I've been married long enough to know better. The same holds true of our hospitality sector. Gift cards can be wonderful gifts around the holidays. Employee appreciation, client appreciation. It doesn't have to be a lot. A $5 gift, coffee card makes a difference. A $10 a lunch gift certificate makes a difference. Not only to the recipient of that gift, right, who doesn't have to reach for the $5, but also very much so for the business. Every little bit adds up. Are you looking to support local charities that help individual families? Many nonprofit organizations will accept restaurant or grocery store gift cards to help them feed their people. And this is a wonderful way to give to individuals while ensuring that businesses reap the rewards of your giving as well. So there's a couple of resources that I wanted to make sure people knew about tonight. Resources available to small businesses. First, the City of Canby has generously offered some small business grants to help support our local economy. The link to the application and eligibility requirements can be found on the city's homepage. The deadline for application for that grant is November 30th, so mere days away. So please check out that information as soon as possible. I was going to announce that Business Oregon had opened up a grant today. It was a $20 million bucket of money for grants in support of small business. It took 20 minutes for the system to be completely overwhelmed and maxed out on the maximum number of applications. The pent-up need within our business community is there. So grant applications for that are closed, but I still bring it up to show the community the nature of the need. My members, business owners, they're proud. They won't ask. Brian alluded to this earlier. They won't. So it's up to us to step forward and get that done. In addition, the Canby Area Chamber of Commerce has just this week signed up to be a PPE depot for small businesses. Once this program gets deployed, I will have kits of masks, gloves, sanitizers, gowns to give to small businesses for free. I'm simply awaiting the program to really get off its feet and for the truck to roll up with my prepared kits. As soon as I have those, I'm going to want to get them out the door to make sure that need is filled. I will be making announcements through our email list at the Chamber and social media when it becomes available, so please stay tuned to that. Finally, the regional chambers of Clackamas County are hard at work on developing business recovery centers that will serve all the businesses of Clackamas County in multiple capacities. While the ink isn't on the contract just yet, I've received the contract and we're just putting it through the vetting process to ensure that it is a win-win situation for the county, the local businesses, the employees, and the residents of Canby and our surrounding areas. It's a very exciting development that we're hoping will help our business community. The situation isn't ideal for anyone, and I know there's a lot of tension surrounding what the holidays will look like for all of our families. But if I may say one thing, let me say this. As we enter into the holiday season, let us remember the values that we observe in this time. The values of thankfulness for the many blessings that are bestowed upon us, even in hard times. May we remember the values of charity and giving, of providing help, comfort, and support for our neighbors, family, and friends. And may we broaden the scope of that sentiment to include our local businesses. For we must remember that businesses, especially local businesses, are made up of people who reside right here in our community, who send their kids to our schools, who attend our churches, and are very much invested in the ongoing success of our community. We really hope that this current freeze is as short as humanly possible. So I do ask that people do what they can to help the broader community control the numbers. We at the Chamber actively believe in a fierce sense of independence, as many business owners are risk takers and pioneers in a sense, but we also feel a deep sense of responsibility to care for what is ours, and our community is ours, all of ours. And if that is true, we all possess the burden of responsibility for helping everyone get through this situation with as little harm as possible. So we want to thank you, Brian. Thank you.
Thank you, Kyle. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Pay attention to city social medias, our communications and whatnot. Information changes very fast. Opportunities appear and disappear like that grant very quickly.
Yes, very quickly.
So I know media fatigue is a real thing. I don't have social media on my phone anymore. I plug into it at work and I unplug from it when I leave work.
Good for you.
But definitely need to select those good informational sources that actually provide value to your life and the way that you live out amongst the community. And we hope we are that for you. That's the reason we're here tonight. So
For sure.
Well,
Kyle,
thank you, sir.
Thank you. It was great information, and I hope you have a great Thanksgiving.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, you too.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Canby.
Thanks, Canby. Thank you, Gordon.
Thanks, Gordon.